Hi there, it's Fionna Gossling with Royal LePage, and I have a very quick update as to what happened in Burlington real estate in October 2024. So, the good news is, and it's not totally reflected in these numbers, is that buyers are starting to return to the market. And I think with the most recent rate cut, we are starting to see those buyers who were waiting for affordability to come jumping back in and anticipating that there is going to be an early spring market of buyers and sellers. And if they've been waiting on the sidelines and are comfortable with the current rates, they're ready to go. So so we are starting to see more showings happening on listings, more buyer calls, more seller calls, and that is all good stuff. For the first time in a long time, I'm seeing, I think, the prudent move is for sellers to get their, if they actually are ready to do something, to get their house on the market, see how the market responds to their house, ideally get it sold, and then know what they're working with to move forward, because we're still in that unknown, it might, who knows how long things will take to sell kind of time frame, but we are seeing buyers come back, so that is wonderful. um, Here is the annual average sale price for all property types, residential property types in Burlington. And you can see that we're still not quite back up to that 2022 peak. What I found interesting about Burlington in 2022 was there was a bit of a lag for prices to come down or adjust to all of the rate hikes that were starting to happen. And then it happened in other markets much more quickly, and Burlington kind of held strong for a little bit longer. So that kind of speaks a little bit to why the 2022 average sale price is still higher than 2024. Um, when you compare it to other markets, a lot of those have caught up. Now, here's a month by month average and median sale price. You can see here's the peak in 2022, and then you kind of stayed strong for a while, and then you corrected, and you're starting to tick back up. This month is not indicative of that, but I think the overall trend is increasing now, um, and prices are doing quite well. As you can see here, we had 226 sales in all of Burlington that sold last month, um, which is up from September, August, July. So we're starting to see some more movement, which is nice. Um, Months of inventory were down, only 3.1 months of inventory there. And the average sale price was down a little bit from September and from August. The average sale price was $1,088,000. Median sale price was just shy of $1 million. So it's interesting that those two are so close. And what that tells me is there were no huge outliers. There's no big um, lakefront properties that are selling to skew that number, really expensive condos that were selling to skew that number. So what I'm seeing is people in the more entry level part of the market jumping in, people getting into condos, people moving up into townhouses. That's kind of where the movement in the market is happening, and in reasonably priced detached homes. So if you look at the year over year, so this October versus last October, 26 more transactions, 20, sorry, my gosh, 65% more transactions happened. Um, our months of inventory were down, and that's just a direct reflection of the months of inventory and the number of transactions that happened. And our average sale price was down by about 5% month over month, year over year. Days on market were pretty flat. The average sale price of a detached home in Burlington last month was $1,340,000, and there were only 2.7 months of inventory. So if you're selling a detached home, uh, it's still kind of a seller's market if it's priced properly and moving. There's demand for it, and there's not as much inventory. Townhouse, 2.3 months of inventory, and the average sale price is $918,000. In a condo, there's quite a bit more inventory with 5.1 months of inventory, average sale price being $663,000. So, as you can see here, the average sale price last month was down, and this is telling me that it is more the lower end of these 125 sales. It is the lower end of the detached market that is moving. And that is just a function of the market starting to pick back up. And we see that all the time when there's a dip in the market or a stall. And then as the market picks back up, it starts at the lower end of affordability. And that makes sense. You can see it here with condos that the average sale price, there was more condo sales, so 43 condo sales, and then the average sale price was 662, which was kind of flat from September, pretty similar. And then here, when you look at the townhouse market, everything is pretty tickety-boo, same as last month. So I do find it interesting that there does seem to be a tiny bit of a lag between Burlington sales, and I do the Oakville sales as well. So there tends to be a couple of months lag in Burlington activity, but I do think that sales are going to start picking up in the new year. I think that if you're thinking about getting into the market, the time is now. And if you're thinking about downsizing or doing something like that, the move is to get your house all ready for sale, expose it to the market, see what it is you'd like to buy, and kind of navigate the system that way. If you had any particular questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're thinking about making a move in 2025 and would like to talk about strategy or the best way to accomplish your goals, don't hesitate to reach out. Talk to you soon.